Still gotta clap every time. But hey, welcome back to the Run Past Talk podcast after a long time. I know it's been a while.
Been, what,
I don't even remember.
over 2 months because we haven't done one since I started my new job.
Well, our number one fan
Keeps pestering us.
Yeah, keeps pestering us and says, "Oh, he's just gonna unsubscribe." Yeah, I understand, but life happened. We had to do things.
I would unsubscribe too, the way his Jayhawks are playing basketball right now. But
That's
I can't
a shot,
talk
Rob.
much. They already beat K-State, but it is K-State KU again tomorrow
Hey,
in Manhattan.
He's pumped that they beat Iowa State the other day.
Yeah, K-State did last weekend too.
Yeah.
And by 19.
But no, I was sorry to all the listeners and fans and whatnot. We just had life and whatnot. But in honor of the Super Bowl, I wanted to get one more in. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of it is because the Eagles, obviously.
I don't think we'd be doing this.
Yeah, that is true.
If the Eagles were not in it.
That is true. But I wanted to get one more in. And then I don't know, you probably haven't seen, and since TikTok got banned, I deleted it. And I can't re-download it. So all the clips that I had of the podcast.
Really? You can't re-download it?
It's not in the App Store.
Huh.
Which is fine. I mean, we'll figure out something else. But I did start another. I haven't done an episode yet, but I'm doing another show. It's not a podcast. It's just going to be me just kind of talking about underdogs. I think I told you about this the other day.
Yeah, and we kind of got into an argument a little bit because you want to do Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
On your first episode.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's not an underdog, in my opinion.
In your opinion, in which I agree with you. Because to me, he's not. But to other people.
He won a natty at Alabama.
Yeah.
And then got his spot taken, so he left to Oklahoma.
But in the NFL, you hear all the critics. Now, after the NFC Championship game, more people are.
I guess I'm not an Eagle fan, so I didn't hear those critics.
Oh, it was bad because everybody's like, he can't throw. He's just a system quarterback. He can't throw. Well, he can throw. He throws only when he needs to, and the boy wins.
Well, because they have Saquon Barkley and Kellen Moore's utilized that.
Yeah. And kudos to Kellen Moore for actually doing the run game.
Yeah.
Surprising. I remember at the beginning of the season, you said...
Oh, your offense is still predictable.
Yeah.
It's just very talented.
Yeah. Which hard nosed football.
It's not going to be next year. Kellen's going to be in New Orleans. I think he already bought a house, and he's just going to stay there after the Super Bowl.
He did buy a house?
No.
I was going to say, how did you hear that? I didn't even know that. But
while we're on the subject of coaches, Dallas? Schottenheimer?
Oh. How do you say it?
Schottenheimer.
Schottenheimer. Yeah.
His dad is a pretty legendary coach, Marty Schottenheimer.
Yeah. How do you feel about it, though?
Can't be any worse than what they've had in the past. They're either going to suck and get a good draft pick or be good and hopefully win a Super Bowl. But that's not really the coaching thing I want to talk about with the Cowboys. After I got home from work today, I saw some news that affects both my teams. They signed a new offensive line coach.
They did? Who?
Connor Riley.
Huh.
Who was the offensive line coach and co-coordinator last year of the K-State Wildcats.
Look at that.
And he was Cooper Beebe's position coach when Beebe was at K-State.
Oh, wow.
And you know what running back I want K-State to grab? Or not K-State, Dallas to grab? Instead of Genty? DJ Giddens.
Oh.
He declared. He's bypassing his senior year.
Why do you want him over Genty?
Because then Dallas, because he's going to be a mid-second round to third-round pick, they can spend on their first draft pick on a top-tier offensive lineman.
Okay. Shit.
because Genty's going to be a good running back. I mean, he's going to be hell
I seen
on
mock.
wheels.
I've seen some mock drafts, and a bunch of them have Dallas picking him.
Yeah, I think if he gets there, they will, but you never know what goes on in situation rooms
Yeah,
in the NFL
I don't know.
and where they want what they want to go after first.
Yeah,
Because yeah, they can let Genty go, start rebuilding the offensive line, and then hope DJ's there either in the second round or in the third.
huh?
And I've also seen mock drafts where they pass on Genty and they take ETN from Georgia, and then
Oh,
also Ollie Gordon from Oklahoma State.
yeah.
But in that same mock draft, they had them taking both of those running backs in the same mock draft, and also drafting Quinn Ewers.
Now, if they drafted Quinn, how do you think Dak would take it
Fine.
after getting the payday, and then he just they're like, oh well,
I don't think
you're
it'll
here to
affect
train
him
the
at all.
guy.
He's going to get paid regardless.
Yeah, but
I mean, because if they cut him, they still have to pay him.
yeah, but I feel like doesn't he like playing in Dallas? He wants to be in Dallas, or does
Yeah,
he? Yeah,
but
just
at this point in his career,
yeah,
he's on his third head coach.
yeah. That is true.
Um, I think his fourth offensive coordinator. Because yeah, his rookie year, Kellen Moore was his teammate. So
Yeah.
Kellen Moore wasn't it. So then, yeah, I think it's either his fourth or fifth OC.
Do you? I don't know. The Giants kept their keeping Dable and their their GM.
Either the GM needed to go or Dable needed to go. One of the two needed to
uh,
go. And then in some mock drafts I see, they aren't even like in the mock drafts, don't even show them taking a quarterback. I've
Jesus,
seen a couple where they're taking Hunter,
they need a quarterback.
Jameis Winston.
Yeah. Did you see that Saquon got shit from Giants fans because what he said to
Giants fans are mad at Saquon no matter what, as it is.
him? Yeah. And Saquon came out and said this whole Giants thing is played out now. He's like he wasn't even taking a shot. He was just saying that they
Yeah.
need a quarterback. But I don't know. Um, did you watch any of the NFL honors last night?
No, when you texted me that, I was already watching the movie, so
Uh,
I didn't.
yeah.
I mean, I was keeping up with it on my phone, but
Man,
dude, why does it look like Jelly Roll could be like an O
you
lineman?
seen that?
Yeah,
He could. He really could. It's probably his weight. Now he's lost a lot of weight.
but I mean, he like just fitted it. I mean, hell, even a defensive tackle.
Yeah.
I mean, you compare him to Vita Vea,
Yeah.
Dexter Lawrence.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
speaking of that, since you asked me if I watched any honors, did you watch any of the Pro Bowl stuff?
I didn't like fully watch it. I had it on every once in a while, but
I will say the NFL has done it right
you think?
to bring it back to somewhat entertaining.
Yeah. I watched the punting competition where they had to make it into those
Yeah, the
big ass
cylinder
buckets.
things.
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean,
But
like last Thursday, well, I didn't watch it live. I mean, I recorded it, so I'd have something to watch this past weekend since there was no football on.
yeah.
But no, I watched the like skills stuff, and it was pretty cool to watch them. Um, but then I even watched the flag football, and it was at least entertaining.
So I got confused because I never really watched the Pro Bowl throughout the years. But do they do the game? Do they have separate games? As in, how do I explain it? So like earlier in the day, they it seemed like they had a flag football game, then they did something else, and then another flag
That was
football game.
between quarters, so it was one full flag
Oh,
football game. But like after the first quarter, then they did another like skills thing,
okay,
and
all right,
then they did the second quarter. Then at halftime, they did one, and
okay, that makes sense because I seen the score and at first I was like, what the hell?
mm-hmm.
And then I don't know, it just I got confused, but that makes sense now. Like I said, I don't watch much of the Pro Bowl, but
no, to me, like back in the day when Sean Taylor laid out that punter,
yeah, which I've seen a lot of videos of
yeah,
that
I mean
recently.
that was awesome because the guys were actually playing for pride.
Mhm.
Now the money's too involved. They don't want to get hurt to where when they were padded up, they just weren't doing anything.
Mhm.
And then the NFL even tried to incentify it to where the MVP gets like a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
But then you still just had the veterans that are already getting millions of dollars,
Yeah.
still just not really giving a shit.
Yeah.
And the young guys were because they want that money.
Yeah.
But then it after a couple years of that, it just got
Yeah.
to be the same thing. The O linemen and D linemen at the snap just stand up and
How,
talk.
I wish the Pro Bowl was like the All Star, where they played for,
But MLB doesn't even do that
and they
anymore
don't
either.
either. Yeah.
The
God
thing
damn.
is, I think it comes down to like the NFLPA, the MLBPA, the NBAPA, the player associations that injuries do happen.
Yeah. Now, side note again. I haven't said that in a while. Side note. You said NBA, and I don't watch a lot of basketball, but I know what happened. The Luca
Uh-huh.
trade. What do you feel? I know
I'm
he's with your Lakers, but
They traded an injured player, a young or a old injured player in Anthony Davis for a young injury prone player in Luka Doncic.
and he does look out of shape. He looked like he
My
gained
thing
some
is, I
weight.
don't think he enjoyed it in Dallas anymore. I think this might be a restart to his career
Yeah.
to where it's okay, we can do this again.
Now, did he know he was going to be traded?
Nobody knew. Davis didn't know he was getting traded. Like it was so hush hush
Holy shit.
that it shocked the world. I mean, it was a big trade.
Yeah. God,
So
that's the thing. Like I said, I don't pay attention to basketball, but
I pay attention to college. I
yeah,
haven't paid attention to the NBA much. I've watched it more this year so far than I have last year,
yeah,
and I've only watched like total a half.
yeah,
I mean, I've watched my K State Wildcats basketball. I've even watched a little bit of women's college basketball
yeah.
because the Lady Cats are doing real good. They're number 12 in the country right now and just knocked off the number 9 team
Oh shit.
Wednesday night. So
Fuck yeah,
K State's men's on a 4-game win streak. Last Saturday,
yeah.
they just knocked off the number 2 team in the country in Iowa State.
Mm.
Their first road win in over a year.
Holy shit.
And now they play KU at home in Manhattan in Bramlage in the Octagon of Doom, Rob. Bill Self isn't going to know what to do.
Hey, always got to find some way to get Rob into this, so he's here
It's
in
just
spirit.
rivalry,
Yeah.
and I love it.
Hell yeah.
But no, so what else? NFL news has there? I mean, there's been a lot of NFL news.
Oh, this is what I wanted to bring up. Miles Garrett. Now, I think I know where you will go with this, but I'm actually pumped because one, he has came out last year on Twitter and said he would love to play for Philly.
He also said he'd love to play for Dallas before he was even drafted in the NFL.
Yeah, but does Dallas have the cap space? Do they have the?
They'd be able to. Micah Parsons even said he would take less money to play with Miles Garrett.
He did. I don't know. I'm just
And because
I just
I have a feeling that the number 70 jersey in Dallas isn't going to be around next year, which drops a lot of cap space.
yeah yeah
I think Zach Martin isn't going to re-sign with Dallas,
yeah.
or he might retire.
I don't know. I I don't know. When I seen that and I listened to talk shows, I can't remember what's his name, the bald headed guy on. I'm not a really big fan of him, but he said he can see Miles Garrett.
Who, Booger McFarland?
Uh, I don't remember. Honestly, I don't even know his name because I
Hmm.
don't really watch the shows. I just see clips. He's always got like a.
On what network?
I just see clips like videos on like Instagram Reels or TikTok Reels or he's a short guy. I'm assuming he looks short. Uh, he's got kind of an annoying voice.
White or black?
Uh, looks white, but he looks
Okay,
like
I have to think it's not Booger McFarland. Then you'd be able to tell.
yeah. Um, no, I don't know. He just says that he can really see him, Miles Garrett, go to the Eagles.
I can't. I don't think Howie would make that move because I think it will affect because your defensive line right now is very young.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They all are still under rookie contracts, I believe. Or
Um.
three out of the four stars. Nolan Smith is.
Yep. Jalen
Jalen Carter
Carter.
is. Um,
Milton Williams isn't. Jordan Davis.
but yeah, he's under rookie, isn't
Mm-hmm.
he? And
Uh,
but
I
then
think
you
so.
also have to think though, Quinnen or your cornerback. Why
Yeah,
not
Cooper
John?
DeJean and
Well, DeJean,
Quinyon Mitchell.
yeah, and Mitchell.
I don't. So that.
They're both under rookie. So I mean, here in the next 4 years, they're gonna have to pay people.
Yeah.
Miles is, I'm guessing, at least looking for a 3 to 4 year contract.
Yeah. Yeah. I just like
So,
I said, it'd
and
be
that's where
awesome.
it's.
But
I could see Howie doing the move as well, but then you guys are gonna lose core pieces. I mean,
yeah.
it's gonna be you'll have a 2 to 3 year run of what you guys are doing now,
Mm-hmm.
but then after that,
Yeah.
you aren't gonna be able to afford unless you guys get Miles Garrett and then go for trade capital and just keep bringing in fresh rookies too.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just I don't want to get my hopes up, but it would just be cool just to see him on the young defensive line that is honestly really fucking good.
See, one other thing I saw, I mean, I've seen Dallas, I've seen Philadelphia, but I've seen the Raiders
Yeah, I've
pairing
seen
him with
Raiders.
Max Crosby.
Yeah, but he does want to win, and I'm not a shot at the Raiders fans, but he wants to win. He wants to go to a winning team.
And see, that's where I think Hunter's going to go to the Raiders if he does fall that far. I have to look at the draft order again because I've seen the Raiders having Hunter or Shadur, or there was a wide receiver. But I think Kirk Cousins is going to go to Vegas or Aaron Rodgers
That makes me laugh. God, if
because
Aaron,
Devontae Adams.
yeah,
Because with them having Pete Carroll, Pete Carroll's like 75
I know.
years old or older, and they signed him to a 3 year contract with a 4 year option. I just cannot see him being a long term thing,
Yeah,
and I do not believe that they would be willing to bring in a rookie quarterback and try to build him into an NFL caliber quarterback like Pete Carroll's done with like Russell Wilson
hmm
before, and think that they will have a sustainable future.
I don't know. I'm trying to see how old Pete Carroll is.
I want to say he just turned, hell, he may have just turned 76.
73.
Oh, he's only 73?
Yeah, I mean only, but that's not to call people old, but that is old. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I can see him
I
coaching
think I'm
until
old.
he's about 80, to
Yeah.
be honest. I mean, he's in great shape. I mean, look at Joe Paterno when he was at Penn State.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Bill Belichick just went to college, and he's probably about the same age
Yeah.
as Pete. So,
I don't know.
I mean, I guess they could draft one. I thought Pete Carroll was older.
You weren't far off though. Like obviously he's in his 70s, but
Well, I said 74, 75, and then jumped to 76. So, yeah.
did you no. So last night during the honors I texted you that
Yeah.
Saquon won.
The offensive player.
What's your stance? Do you think he should have won MVP? Or do you think offense
To
players
me, to be
right?
honest, it is a very big toss up between him and Josh Allen. Josh Allen had a hell of a year as well. Um,
And
and
I'm not mad that Josh Allen won. I'm
to
actually
be
happy for him.
honest, in my opinion, I think it should have been between Saquon and Joe Burrow for MVP.
Over Josh Allen? Really? Apparently,
But
both Saquon and Joe Burrow did not get votes for.
MVP.
number one,
Hmm.
or
So it
yeah,
was just Josh and Lamar.
Lamar. Yeah,
Let's see. The reason why I think Saquon didn't get MVP is because Philadelphia, and they still have a pretty big core group of guys that got into the Super Bowl
yeah,
2 years ago,
yeah,
right? 2 years.
yeah,
And so he just was added into it
yeah.
and just made him better
Mhm,
to where Allen, you take him out of the equation,
mhm.
then
Yeah,
what do the Bills have?
yeah,
And to me, same with Joe Burrow. When he got hurt last year, I mean, he won Comeback Player of the Year.
yep,
And when he got hurt last year, the Bengals weren't that great.
yeah,
But the thing is, the Bengals weren't that great this year either. So I think that's why he really wasn't in the MVP conversation, even though his stats were incredible.
yeah,
But they just weren't winning. They didn't even make the playoffs.
yeah. Which that's what I figured. Um,
And I am happy that the voting stops after the regular season.
yeah.
Postseason doesn't matter.
Which, if it did, you think Saquon would have won?
I think he would have gotten votes.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know if he would have won, but
yeah. That's
I think
yeah,
that's why the MVP, because you have to look most valuable player.
yeah, yeah. Which yeah, and like the Eagles, they have more than just Saquon, so I could see why that's hard. But I'm glad he at least got
Yeah, I mean,
offensive
if he
player of the
wouldn't have
year.
won any hardware, then I think there would have been more of an issue.
Yeah,
I mean, after going for he was the eighth player in NFL history to rush for 2,000 or fifth,
ninth.
the ninth.
Yep, yep. Um, that brings me to this question because of the NFL honors. What if you can remember all the crazy, cool ass plays that happened this season? What is your top? What would top it all? You got the Jaden Daniels Hail Mary. You got the Detroit fake stumble fumble for a touchdown.
I got two. The Cavante Turpin
Oh yeah,
kickoff
that
return
yeah,
against the Commanders when
yeah,
he bobbled it, did the spin move,
yep,
and then when Buffalo played the Niners
yep.
on, was it Sunday Night Football or Monday? Yeah, it was Sunday night
When it was snowing.
in the snow,
Yeah,
and Allen threw that pass to Amari, and Amari pitched it to Allen.
yeah.
I think those would be my top two. I would say
Really?
Saquon's
God.
backwards hurdle would be my number three.
See,
I mean,
maybe I'm
yes, that was
biased, but
insane and
god damn.
crazy, but what did, outside of the coolness, what effect did it have on the game?
You got yards.
You got three more after,
Yeah.
or maybe a little bit more. But yeah, it was cool. I think it was awesome. Hell of athleticism.
So maybe that's
But
why.
for me, it was just the impact in the game.
Hmm. So I'm pretty sure
What won, by the way?
Jane Daniels Hail Mary.
Like, that shouldn't have won.
I know. That's what I thought.
It was a Hail Mary, and the Bears player was talking shit to the crowd.
I'm a look up because I was busy during that time they were showing all the plays. I know Saquon's was up there in that Hail Mary, but I don't remember what plays were nominated.
I want to say Cavante Turpin's was.
NFL 2025. How would I word it?
Play of the year.
Play.
And I mean, I might be biased too with the Cavante Turpin one.
Which
But
that's probably why I am biased about the Saquon one. Play of the year. Let's see. I wish it just had a list.
see, actually, I want to say that was my number three. If I had to pick an Eagles play, does it have to be regular season?
No.
I would say what, that 74-yard rushing touchdown in the snow Saquon had in the divisional game.
Yeah.
I think that tops his backward hurdle.
Why do you say it tops it? Because of
The
the
impact of the play.
the
I
impact.
mean, that pretty much sucked out any life of
Well,
the opponent.
I don't know because when that happened, then everybody was like, "Oh, that seals the deal." But then the Lions started driving.
Because Philadelphia would have been they played a softer coverage,
Yeah, yeah, that is true. But
and that didn't happen against the Lions.
or the Rams.
Yeah,
Sorry, not
I
the
was say
Lions. The
that
Rams.
Washington beat the fuck out of the
Yeah, I
Lions.
didn't mean to say the Lions. It was the Rams. Um, I can't really find an easy way to find a list of the plays, but yeah, I didn't agree that Jaden Daniels Hail Mary won, but
No, I don't.
I don't know.
Who won Defensive Rookie of the Year?
Uh, Curse, which I didn't agree with that. I was,
What? Who do you think should have?
uh, well, they had two Eagles on there, and I feel like Quinion should have, but I wasn't keeping up with was it Javon? Is it, what's his name? Curse from the Rams. It's whatever. But obviously, uh, Jaden Daniels won Offensive Rookie of the Year, but I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, I think that was.
But I don't know. So, do you have more NFL news talk you want to talk about? Because I can't think of much off the top of my head.
No, there was just some coaching hires, but I mean that.
Oh, did you see who won Coach of the Year?
Yeah, wasn't it Vikings?
Yep,
I don't
O'Connell.
agree.
I don't either.
Dan Quinn.
I thought it was gonna be Dan Quinn. Either I thought it was gonna be Dan Quinn or even Dan Campbell.
Yeah, I kept hearing a lot of Dan Campbell, and I can't find the candidates either for the moment of the year.
But
Um, I mean, he did have a hell of a year, especially having a new quarterback and not the quarterback he was planning on having.
yeah,
So I mean, he did well with it. We have to remember all this was based on regular season, not playoff.
yeah.
But yeah, I think Dan Quinn should have gotten it.
I thought he was going to.
I, he should have.
First year head coach.
I mean, even though he left Dallas to go to Washington and then did what he did in Washington. So yeah, he should have gotten it. I'm trying to think. There was something else. Oh,
um. So I also thought about this question. Besides, because I feel like I know why or how you became a Cowboys fan, other than a personal reason. So I like what moment made you become a Cowboys fan? And I'm just asking, like, in a way of like, what made you like them?
because that's my dad's team, so that's what always was on.
Was there a moment where like your dad was watching a game when you were younger and you just like fell in love with the Cowboys?
Nah, because really the most memory, like when it comes to moments, would be Jason Witten.
Yeah,
So I mean, that's why he's hands down my favorite
yeah.
NFL player ever. So when I really started watching football was 2004,
Yeah. So
2005 probably.
yeah.
So I mean that's when he was in the height of his career or getting started actually. Um, and so Dallas being America's team, they're always on TV. And my
Mhm.
dad's, of course, always going to have it on. So that's just what I
Yeah.
grew up watching. And then
Yeah.
just seeing Witten, because I mean I was a bigger kid,
Yeah.
so just seeing because everyone bashed offensive linemen. Oh, they're just fat, lazy, slow. And then you have Witten, who's to me one of the best tight ends ever because he plays both
Yeah.
offensive line and a receiver.
Yeah.
He isn't just like Travis Kelsey and those style. Even though Kelsey does throw a block and he isn't terrible at it, but that's not his main
Yeah.
thing.
So I was laying in bed one night and I was just thinking about this question because I get asked a lot, like, pretty much how did I become an Eagles fan. And what I tell people is actually in 2004, the first time I remember, it, my memory goes back to that, to my first ever NFL team was the Eagles when they played the Patriots. They lost to the Patriots in the
Mm-hmm.
Super Bowl, but that is when I decided I was going to be an Eagles fan and just fell in love with Donovan Nab, T.O., and Brian Doc, Brian Dawkins, Brian Westbrook. I just fucking fell in love. So I was laying in bed just thinking about it. I was like, huh, that's as far back as my memory goes to
I mean, do
the
I really
Eagles.
want to sit there? Because you know how memory I have. Like,
Yeah,
I have a great memory.
yeah,
So, would you believe me when I said when I was just 6 months old, I just remember when the Cowboys
yeah,
won the Super Bowl, and that's
yeah.
why.
But I just didn't know if there was like a a game that made you just when you're younger that made you fall in love with them or a moment, just something.
No, I mean, I can tell you K State,
Yeah,
when they won the 2003 Big 12 championship, and Darren Sproles was just a menace.
yeah, yeah. Darren
And then
Sproles.
also, by that point, my cousin was also playing at K State.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. I don't know. I get asked a lot. How did I become an Eagles fan living in the Midwest?
see, the more questions I have to answer to is how are you a Cowboy fan, a Yankee fan, and a Lakers fan?
I get asked. I mean, I guess
I mean, that's the typical bandwagon person. But
which
to all of our, yeah, to
to bring
like
it up,
on
I've
paper,
seen
it
memes.
is. Oh, yeah,
I've
I
seen
see them
memes.
all the time.
Yeah.
And like, oh, Dallas season's done, so now they're going to start rooting for the Lakers. Oh, Lakers season's done, now they're on to the Yankees.
Yeah.
No, I've been with all my teams
Well,
since we were 5 years old.
and I can contest to that because all my teams are
Rivals.
rivals.
So,
But
no, I've been with my
yeah,
team ever since I can start rooting for stuff. I mean, I can tell you why I was a Yankees fan. I mean, because my dad didn't play baseball. He didn't care. He cares about baseball, but not much. But I love baseball.
yeah.
So, of course, the Yankees were always on TV.
Hmm.
So, if that's all I'm watching,
Yeah, that is true.
and
And
then Jorge Posada,
yeah,
that's not, I'm a Jeter fan, but he wasn't my favorite player during that.
yeah. Well, you know who my favorite Red Sox is. Red Sox is Big Papi.
I think that's
Fuck
any Boston fan.
yeah, that is true. He's the savior for
See,
them.
I mean, I think it'd be Kevin Youkilis more than Ortiz.
Euclid didn't do as much as Ortiz has.
No. And I would
Just the
say, well,
stance
he
and
Ortiz played for Minnesota before,
yeah, he did.
but then you look at Youkilis' career. He went from Oakland to, or
Yeah.
no, Chicago. Or, did he go from Chicago to Oakland to Boston, then
Oh
somewhere,
my
and then
God,
the Yankees?
I can't remember.
Because yeah, I mean, Youkilis played for the Yankees,
Yeah,
and it was weird as hell seeing him bald and beardless.
that reminds me. I know we're a football podcast, but baseball's around the corner. College baseball starts next Friday.
Does it?
Yep, I
Sweet.
got it on the calendar, on my phone calendar. But no. Another side note with baseball. Verdugo's going to or in Philly now.
I don't know where the hell he signed.
I think
But he
he's
saw saw something. He said he was happy he can start wearing
yeah,
more than one chain again.
and a beard.
And my thing was is, I mean, you did okay in Boston with your beard and a couple chains, but you didn't do shit in New York anyway. So
Yeah, I don't know.
I
I was
mean,
still upset that the Red Sox got rid of him because I liked him. But so on to the Super Bowl.
yeah,
I know I asked you this a couple days ago, but I want to ask you again on here. Who are you going for?
don't know yet. I truly don't. I mean, there's reasons why I want to root for both teams. Um, reason for Philadelphia is because they're in the NFC East,
And for
and
the NFC
because
Championship to be two NFC East teams,
yeah, and because if the Chiefs win, then they tie Dallas at 5.
they do. Wait,
Yeah, They've won 3 in the past 5 years,
Yeah.
and they won one way back, like Super Bowl 3 or 4.
Okay.
So they'll tie Dallas at 5. And because I'm tired of hearing about the Mahomes Kelsey
Yeah.
stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
he's become the next Tom Brady, and I
Which I'm
just
pretty
don't
sure.
want to like him just because he's good.
Yeah.
And then the reason why I root for the Chiefs is to piss on all the Eagles fans' parades because I don't like Eagles fan. You're the only one I can really deal with.
Not even my brother. Not even Jaden.
I don't see him enough anymore. Um, to see a three-peat in the NFL, I think would be pretty cool.
I don't know.
It'd just be something new, so I can say I've seen it in my lifetime.
I Yeah. I get that, and maybe it's I'm biased or feel this way because
Who
it's
would
the
you be
Eagles.
rooting for if Washington would have beat the Eagles?
That's a good question.
You'd be in the same boat as me, I
Yeah,
think.
that is a good question.
Then also my in-laws and my wife,
Hmm.
Chiefs fans, and then also Felix and Udike. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, this is his second year in the NFL. He's already 1 for 1, so I think it'd be cool for him to. I mean, 2 years in the NFL and 2 rings. I mean, I
Yeah.
think that would be a pretty cool thing.
So, I, back to the whole three-peat though. What I'm on the fence of is, yeah, it would be cool, and obviously, like the Patriots, people are starting to get tired of the Chiefs. Well, you can't three-peat without people getting tired of it.
Hmm.
I get that, but to me, maybe it's just me or my weird spiritual. I just feel like that's a feat that should not be broken. And maybe I'm being biased because maybe I'd feel different if it was the Eagles. I don't know. It's just weird.
That you'd feel different if it was the Eagles.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is also, and I don't know if you know this, Pat Riley, the legendary basketball coach,
Oh yeah.
he has three-peat trademarked.
Oh, he does.
Yes. So anything, any gear, anything like that, if the Chiefs were to do it and it said three-peat, he gets 5%.
So I wonder who he's going for because
Oh, I guarantee he's going for the Chiefs because it's
yeah,
a payday.
yeah, that's actually really clever.
Because he was the coach with I want to say Chicago or the Lakers. I don't know. He was one of the coaches on one of the first ever three-peats in the NBA,
Huh.
and he decided to trademark it.
That smart move on his part.
Hmm.
That's a very smart move. I just
I almost wore over my Chiefs Felix shirt that I have,
Oh, you did?
but I'm like, nah, I'm a Cowboy fan. And
Hmm.
I mean, I wore it last year at the watch party in Kansas City, so I
Which I
think
feel
that
like
was a
you had to
fitting
because you were
thing.
with your wife.
Well, and that's why I made sure I got a Felix and DK one
Hmm.
because then I can say it's K State.
Yeah. I don't know. Are you getting tired of seeing the Chiefs?
Especially with where we live.
Yeah. Yeah. That's. But people are getting tired of the Eagles being there too.
They've been there 2 in the past 3.
But out of the two, since I seen a stat, since the 2000s, there's only been three teams that have been consistently there. It's the Patriots, obviously, then the Chiefs, and then the Eagles.
Yeah, and who's the head coach out of the 2 of those 3 teams when they were
Yeah,
doing it?
Andy Reid. Yeah, it's Andy Reid. Maybe now it's Nick Sirianni, but we'll see. But I don't know. Now on to the game. Do you
Saquon's going to have 150 and 2 touchdowns on the ground.
even with Spagnola's defense and everybody's like Saquon's not getting over 100 yards because Chiefs have never allowed 100 yards in the playoffs to a running back and all this and
They're averaging 101.8 yards a game
yeah, I
between regular season and postseason. The Chiefs are averaging 101.8 rushing yards a game.
but they're wait
The
the
only
defense
thing,
is
yeah, their defense is giving up 101.8 yards a game on the ground.
You said, did you say since week 8?
No, since
So,
regular season, postseason combined, they're the eighth best rushing defense in the league in yards allowed.
huh. I just,
My thing is, who's playing center?
for the
The
Eagles,
Eagles.
Jurgens, he's going to play. They're going to play.
All right, who's playing right guard?
Dickerson.
Is he? Because he got hurt
They
playing
both were
center.
hurt.
Well, Jurgens sat out and came in,
Yeah, and then,
and Dickerson never came back into the game in the NFC Championship,
no. Yeah,
and it
Jurgens
was a
went
leg
back
injury.
in. I
That's I think that's going to be the only weakness on that line is
let's see.
because they're side by side. So I think that's where Spagnuolo is going to attack.
Yeah, that is true. But I just seen a injury report.
Yeah, I mean they're probably going to play, but they aren't healthy.
No, but I think they're gonna give it their all. I'm not worried about it. Yeah, Lander Dickinson. He had a full practice today.
The only thing that I think might screw up the offense is going to be his pass rushes, his blitz packages.
Yeah,
Because I think you can agree that's one thing Hurts needs to fix is once he starts getting pressured early,
yeah.
it stays in his head all game and he gets happy feet and that's where the turnovers come.
Yeah, but in the playoffs, or I would say the last 6 games, there was a couple games that the defense would send a shit ton, and there's moments that you're like, fuck, Jalen, don't take the sack, get rid of it, just do something. But then
Mm-hmm.
there's other times that he has been quick enough to get the ball out.
Yeah, but it just once it gets into his head, it speeds up his clock, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Which has been in the past. I mean, even in the regular season, and that's when typically he starts getting his turnover streak going. But then I think for the Eagles to win is they also have to do the same thing on defense, is get a pass rush early because Mahomes is the same way. That's
yeah,
when he turns the ball over.
yeah. I have so much confidence in this defense, more than I did in 2022 against
My
the
thing is
Chiefs.
who's going to cover Travis Kelsey?
This defense, see,
Who's going to?
Fangio's defense is a very big umbrella defense.
It is. But the thing is, Kelsey is so good at finding soft spots in zones.
Yeah,
You have to go, man. Who's covering him?
that was a topic. I bet you Cooper DeJean.
I think the size is going to win that one.
Yeah, but I'm not worried about it because if he can lay uh, Derrick Henry on the ground like he did, he can do that against
He
Kelsey.
can't lay Kelsey out until he has the ball in his hands.
No,
That's what I mean. It is the size being able to box out and pass coverage.
I
And I think Kelsey's a future Hall of Famer. I mean, I think
yeah,
we
he
both
already
can
is.
agree.
Yeah,
Um, he just knows how to position himself
yeah.
and be able to get that leverage, which I think that's where Cooper DeJean's going to struggle on guarding him.
But you got to keep in mind too, the defense is a bend but don't break defense.
Yeah.
They'll let them get these short yards, but they won't get them downfield. And then when it comes to the red zone, our red zone defense is really good. I don't think I have so much confidence in this defense that it's the only thing that worries me is Mahomes' ability to run when he does.
Mm-hmm.
And not to be one of those guys, but when he does run, what also worries me about that is the Mahomes is really good at getting these guys to come in and then sliding.
And, and baiting them. Yeah.
That's what I'm worried about.
But my next thing, and this is what I'll kind of end it on, because it's kind of funny to me. Reed Blankenship.
Yeah.
All you Eagles fans wanted his head last year.
Yeah.
And now all you Eagles fans are all praising him.
Well, I'm not praising him as much as Cooper DeJean and Quinyon and
No, but he led your either led or was tied for the interception leader in your defense.
Yeah.
But just last year, all you Eagles
Hey,
fans cut his ass. He sucks. He's terrible.
last year was a big. See, 2022, all about him. He was doing good.
Well,
Last
so
year was a fluke. It was weird, but I know. I mean,
so it's
I got
it
asked this
has
question by Rob.
it,
Rob asked me. He
it
goes,
has just made me laugh
at Rob said asked me this the other day. He goes, "What happened to Nick Sirianni's head earlier this year?" I was like, "Yeah, I know. Earlier this year, we we wanted his head, but he changed. He changed it around. He did what he was supposed to."
And my next thing, I guess I said that was going to be the last thing, is what is Dom's actual role?
Honestly, I could not answer that other than I feel like he's the key to all this.
Because my thing, well, I mean, your guys' downfall last year started after the 49er incident with Greenlaw.
Yep.
But my thing is I am told he's like the security, head
Yeah,
of security
but he
for
has
the
a
Eagles.
headset.
But yeah, he wears a headset.
I don't know. I'm just glad he's on the sideline. I'm. He's been with I. He's been with the Eagles for a long time.
Yeah,
He was there
forever.
when Reed
Yeah,
was
when
there.
Reed was there. Yeah, he's been there forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just my biggest thing. He's supposed to be the security official guy, but he has a headset on.
Maybe he's just making sure security's good on the headset. I
Yeah,
don't know.
no bullshit. It's the same
Yeah.
headset with the play calls.
I don't know.
So,
I Big Dom. He's a treasure in Philadelphia.
he wouldn't be unless he got in Greenlaw's face last year. Nobody knew who the hell he was until that incident. At
No,
least,
but the team does. The team does.
yeah. But then I'm surprised he had a job because, like I said, after all this shit happened with Greenlaw,
Yeah.
is when the downfall started.
I don't know.
When he was kicked off the sidelines.
Yeah, I remember that. I was watching that game at my mom's. But
But no, I don't know who I'm rooting for. I just hope it's a close game to where I actually.
well,
I mean, I might flip flop back and forth during the game on
last I
just to
looked,
keep it close.
last I looked, Chiefs were a 1 point favorite, and then it was a 1.5, then a 1 point, and then I think it might be back at 1.5, maybe. But I also did see yesterday. I think it was what show has Ryan Clark on it? Which one is that?
No, that's like NFL Live, I think.
Is it? Well,
It's
yesterday,
something with ESPN. So
yesterday they all picked the Chiefs. Today they all picked the Eagles. They don't know. I They have no
nobody
idea.
knows. The NFL might already know, but
I don't know. If if the NFL knows, I hope it's sweet, sweet revenge. But
you got sweet revenge against a three-peat opportunity.
you got sweet revenge with maybe Saquon bringing back the value of a running back.
Well, I think him and Henry already both did that this year.
Yeah.
But then also at work today, I made the joke on uh, what if the Eagles win off the defensive holding call?
Oh, that would be fucking wild. And then you got the Chiefs fan. Oh, doing exactly what we did in 2022.
Which it was a legit defensive holding.
It was,
And I
but
don't
it
want to hear
was
how do
a
you call
little
it in
one.
that situation. It was a by
It
rule
was.
defensive holding. It was clear cut defensive holding.
It was.
And that's why I get tired of hearing people, how do you make that call in that situation? Because the play happened, that's what happened in the play, and they called it.
Yeah.
Just like Mahomes last year throwing a fit when they played the Bills in the regular season and they had that pitch play and Tony scored on, but Tony was offsides by a yard. Well,
Oh
how
yeah.
do you call that in that
Yeah.
situation? Because that's what happened.
Mhm. Um. Yeah. I'm actually so in 2022 I was little a little nervous going into the game. I'm this year maybe you got a little nerves, but
I mean, are
I'm
you
really
even
not.
going to sleep tomorrow night?
Uh,
I mean, are you going to be like a little, like a
dude,
5-year-old on Christmas Eve?
dude, I've been thinking about it for 2 weeks. I'm not
I
kidding.
mean, how does that feel? I've
So,
never had that feeling, so.
um, I want the game to get here. That's what I feel. I want the game to be here, and I'm really reluctant to say this, but I do want to say this. People are gonna think I'm fucking crazy and biased and all this, but I told two people so far. You will be number three, and now all of our watchers. The other guy I told is pretty much our only watcher at the moment. But I had a dream 2 nights ago, 3 nights ago, of the score, and you might not believe it, but the Eagles were 49, Chiefs were 29.
And it's not going to be the highest score in the game. But, I mean, if you believe in it that much, you want to go to the casino with me tomorrow and put money on it?
See, Victor at work was put money on it. I don't bet. I don't do that.
$5 bet.
Yeah.
I don't know what the odds would be on a payout of that.
I don't know. I don't. I'm confident, but I won't bet. I just won't. I just in my heart, that's what I believe,
So, I mean, how heartbroken are you going to be if the Eagles do lose?
and it's that score.
No. And, because you told me after Texas lost in the playoffs,
Yeah.
if that's what it takes for the Eagles to win,
Mhm.
so then, I mean, they get all the way there and they don't win, and then you had your Texas and Philadelphia.
I'll be heartbroken, but I don't. I don't believe the Eagles are losing, and I'm gonna say it. I. The only thing that worries me, or the two things I told you earlier, is Mahomes' ability to bait players in, and then I'm gonna be that guy. It's the refs, and I know RG3 came out and said it's not the refs, but you saw it. The Chiefs do get calls,
Yeah,
and it's and
but the same thing happened when the Patriots were good.
yeah, I mean,
I mean, the rest do pay. I hate to say it, pay closer attention to top caliber teams more or
yeah,
less than they do
yeah.
others. But I think the Eagles also are one of the top caliber teams.
And I'm not gonna lie, there's been some
Yeah, there's
calls
been
the Eagles
calls
got,
that,
and I
I
was
mean, in
surprised.
the NFC Championship game, it happened. It didn't hurt Washington. I think it helped them more on the AJ Brown and
Oh yeah,
Lattimore incident where they just flagged Lattimore and
yeah,
they stopped the tush push.
yeah. And then fucking Commanders, what's his name? Fucking Luvu
Yeah.
jumped. God, that was the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
But my thing is, I mean, what? I mean, and if they would have called that a touchdown in that sequence, I really would have had an issue with it because Jalen was doing a hard count. There, there was hard count involved. To where he's trying to time the snap. I mean, it is a very unstoppable play.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the defenders, they're going to try and do whatever they have to do. But if the rest would have awarded the touchdown, if
Hmm.
it happened again or two more times, I would have had an issue if Hurts would have kept doing the hard count.
I
Because to me, that point, it's almost baiting.
yeah. Which I think it got to that point.
Yeah.
It, I mean, I don't think they were. I don't know. Maybe they were trying from the get go, but I know it got to that point because you could see the Eagles players smiling.
Hmm.
But
Because, yeah, but my thing is, if it is a part of the game, hard counts are a part of the game.
yeah,
But if they're trying to time it on this very hard play to stop, I don't think that they should be penalized for trying to jump the snap count in a touchdown way if they're hard counting. And typically, when you come to a hard count, you're trying to draw the defender offside.
yeah, yeah. But at some point too,
Yeah, at some point, the game needs to presume
yeah, because
it's
it could have gone on. It
gone on for
wouldn't.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
would have gone on forever. It's like okay, and like I told you, it reminded me of,
when we're playing
and
online
we get either we're getting blown out, or we're blowing someone
and we're
else out.
doing that, and yeah,
Yeah,
vice versa. So yeah, but no, to me, I just think if they would have actually enforced that rule, which has never been enforced, I would have had a little bit of an issue with it because of the hard count.
it's never been. I didn't know this until I was watching something. That's never happened in the NFL, but it happened one time that the refs rewarded a score in college.
Hmm.
And it was, I can't remember what year. Maybe it was like 19 fucking, maybe it was like 1930 something. I don't remember. It was a long, long time ago. But uh, I think it was Alabama. They had a running back running down the field, clear as day, about to score, and a sideline player came and tackled him, and you could see it on TV, and the refs like, yeah, he touchdown.
Yeah.
But no, that was wild. Also, since we're on the topic of the Chiefs three-peat, um, this brings me back to an episode we had. Was it last season when we talked about dynasty?
Hmm.
Are they now a dynasty, or
Yeah.
will be?
No, I mean they've won 3 out of the last 5 Super Bowls and have played in 4 of the last 6. So I
Yeah,
I think they already are.
yeah,
I mean Mahomes. I think this is his 7th year as starting quarterback,
I believe so. 7 year.
and he's gotten to the AFC Championship every year.
Yeah,
There's only been 2 quarterbacks to beat him. He's only lost 3 games.
two quarterbacks to beat him in the playoffs, or two
Yeah,
quarter
in the playoffs, including I'll include Super Bowl in the playoffs.
Brady.
Brady's beaten him twice,
Yeah,
and then Burrow.
Burrow. Yep. So Burrow.
Um, and Brady did it with separate teams.
Yep. And that reminds me too. So Brady beat him in the AFC,
Yeah, in
and
2019, and that's how Brady got beat by the Eagles.
and then uh, Brady beat him in the NFC,
Uh huh.
which is, I don't know. So is Brady's the only quarterback he hasn't beaten? Mahomes hasn't beaten. Obviously, he can't now because Brady retired, but I believe so. Let me look it up.
Because 2018, who did the Chiefs beat to get to the Super Bowl?
Ooh, I don't remember. Let's see right here. One of the top questions. Oh, Mahomes' first one against Brady in 2019. Okay, he had. Wait,
So that would have been regular season.
yeah, in the playoffs he's never beaten Brady.
Yeah,
Okay, he has a 3-3 record against Tom Brady.
3-0 or 3-1 then in regular season, and 0-2 in postseason.
Yep. Um, that also brings me to the topic too. I got a lot of things. Do you like Tom Brady as a commentator?
I don't mind him. I think he needs to focus a little bit more on the game and his vocabulary, kind of expand it because he says a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah, but it's his first season, and also I do realize he brings up his time in the NFL, and I chalk that up as one, his first season as a commentator, so I don't blame him. Two, he's learning. Three, he is Tom Brady, and he has a lot of Super Bowls. So
And to me, I think, at least in the NFL wise, Tom Brady can do whatever he wants at this point.
yeah, that is true.
I mean, he also is a minority or a majority owner of the Raiders.
Yeah,
So
I don't know. So do you got a score for the Super Bowl?
24-22.
But you don't have a winner yet. Know the score, but you don't have a winner yet.
No, because I think both teams are evenly matched. They both have good defenses. They both have good explosive offenses. So I think that's why it's going to be a low scoring game. But I am saying 24-22.
And which is weird when you say explosive offenses. It's not explosive in the normal way, as in when to me at least, I think of explosive as big pass plays downfield.
The Chiefs, I think, still can do that.
Well, the Eagles can too, but they got Xavier Worthy. That actually he's not as big downfield as everybody thought he was. He's really big at behind the line motion coming.
And slants and
Yeah, and obviously the Eagles' big plays, most of them have been Saquon
mm-hmm.
60-yard plus runs. So it's just weird to think that those are the explosive plays. But I think it's going to be. I don't. I mean, I told you my dream score, like what I had in my dream. But if I think about it, I think it's going to be close to the score that we had in 2022. The defenses are it's going to be more of a defensive game, but I also think they will find their ways out.
Yeah. I was just looking to see what your guys' score was against the Patriots.
Oh,
that was a high scoring game.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And they had it on NFL Network the other night when I was going to bed.
But no, I think it's going to be a good game. I think it'll be one of the better Super Bowls in the past. I mean, even though last year's Super Bowl, I mean, almost going into a second overtime was insane.
Well, and then in 2022, that was a good game too.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think the last game that wasn't that great was when Tampa Bay kind of blew out Kansas City.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't remember. What was the score for Rams and Cincinnati?
It was pretty close.
I want to say remember that one.
Kind of down to the wire.
I remember, like, no disrespect to Cincinnati and Rams fans, but I wasn't too excited about that.
19-16. It was a very defensive battle game.
Yep.
I mean, there was only a total of 12 points scored in the first half.
Yeah.
And then a total of 23 in the second half.
I don't know. I'm pumped about this. Like I said, I've been thinking about it for 2 weeks, and as the days get closer, it's literally all I think about. And I know people's like it's just football, but my team's in it, and I love the Eagles. Like, when it comes to baseball, I love the Red Sox, but I put on different teams' jerseys because I love baseball. I love all old school, all of it. But when it comes to NFL,
so when you love old school baseball, so when are you gonna throw on one of the old school Yankee?
No, I won't do Yankee because I can't. I think you've asked me this before. I won't wear it, but if it came to it, I might get a Derek Jeter jersey just to have. If it was signed, even better.
I think you'd probably do a Mariano before a Jeter.
Maybe. Maybe Ruth, Yankee. I don't know. But when it comes to NFL, it's the Eagles. I fucking love the Eagles. Everybody knows that. But also, I didn't realize, but my grandpa was kind of a Chiefs fan. Yeah. He was kind of throwing some shade the other day.
Well, it's your grandpa. I think that was expected no matter what.
Yeah. And I was like, thought to myself, I was like, you're a Chiefs fan? Come on. But I don't know. But I think I could do it for this week's episode. Like we said, we're sorry we didn't have episodes before this. Life happened. Jesse got a new job, and it's the winter. I haven't been that busy because it hasn't really snowed here, but that's all right. Next season we'll stay up to it all season long. Be on the lookout for the new show. It's called the Underdog Show. And like Jesse said, my first episode is about pretty much Jalen Hurts because I feel like maybe he's getting more respect now, but he's still. We'll see because I feel like if he wins this Super Bowl, it changes everybody's mind. But I don't know. But I think that's gonna do it for this week's episode.
Go Cowboys.
Go Birds!